It's kind of crazy when you have to play Saka centrally to make space for Noni Madueke. And for me, it's like you have a natural number 10. You have, matter of fact, you probably have two of them if we do want to, classify Odegaard as your number 10. But I don't think you get the same level of, quality in that role from someone like a Bukayo Saka, and this is why it feels like there's levels to this because you could play certain players centrally in those positions, and they give you some output. And to be fair to Bukayo Saka, like he got his goal, and that was about it for this game. But to move Saka centrally, it means, again, this is according to Arsenal fans, it's starting to sound like Saka has lost that explosiveness to play as a winger. So now you have to basically facilitate his position in that team by putting him centrally. And look, it's not a bad idea when you have one of your best, shooters playing centrally a bit more closer to go. I think with the thinking of it, if you get if you get Saka a bit more, centrally to be able to shoot, I guess, you kind of simplify his actions for him. Maybe you could get a better combination, you probably get more shots per game, but it says a lot when you have to move him centrally and you have to play Noni as your right winger. You hear a lot of Arsenal fans speculate now that they just feel Saka's hamstrings are gone. The explosiveness to be a winger is gone. So now you have to kind of find a new position for him, playing him in this number 10 position. And it doesn't necessarily, enhance his qualities. For me, when I think of people who play that position, that 10 position, I think of players who are very creative, players who have the vision that a lot of other people don't have. You look at someone like a Cherky, he plays that position really well. You look at someone like a Vert, even now, that position, he has the eye for that pass. You look at someone like a Cole Palmer, in those central areas, Palmer could do a lot of damage. For me, Saka just ain't that guy. So in one of your big games, and I mean, beating Wolves would have extended that lead to what? Was it 7 points, I believe, if I'm not mistaken? Now it's 5 with Man City with the game in hand. And it feels like this is an I told you moment. It feels like people have told a lot of Arsenal fans, like, yo, bro, you guys are playing like you're not really trying to win this league. The amount of opportunities they've had to extend the lead, and it's just, they just keep giving that back to Man City. And funny thing is, Man City have not even been stellar. They have not been great at all. Man City have just been able to keep, they've been able to keep up with Arsenal little by little. Like Man City haven't done anything spectacular. They're winning some of their games, but they're not being as ruthless as we know. But it just feels like with the momentum Arsenal just keep throwing back to Man City, it feels like a matter of time before Man City do just capitalize on this. Because this game today, you go 2-0 up, and it's starting to, it's not even starting. It's always been said, a 2-0 scoreline is never safe. When you're up by 2, you really want to put the other team to the sword. You want to kill them off. Because if you go up by 3 and they get a goal, at least you still have your 2-goal cushion. And look, Wolves have not been great. They have 10 points all season. They just got slapped up by Chelsea, and you're expecting Arsenal to pull up, and it's going to be a very routine game. But it feels like some of their big game players are just letting them down. Gabriel today let Arsenal down. Raya let Arsenal down, and Wolves, I think they're already relegated anyway. So they should have been, again, it feels like this should have been one of those games. It should have been wrapped up, done a long time ago. But this is the beauty of the Premier League. Any team on any day can give any of the big boys problems. Like there's no guaranteed wins anymore. There's no guaranteed walkovers. A lot of these teams, even without having anything to play for, they show up and they show out. And this was very damaging for Arsenal, to be honest with you. Very damaging because it just feels like the tide is starting to turn. The pressure is really starting to build again. And these guys don't have the experience of really winning much together. It's different when, this is a Man City. They have the experience of knowing how to be in a title race. They have the experience of having to come back a few times to win it against Liverpool, to win it against Arsenal. So they have the know-how. They still have one of the best managers in the world in Pep. So Pep doesn't really need much motivation and an invitation to really punish you. And slowly but surely, I feel like Man City are just going to start getting that feeling of, you know what, this is just meant to be ours. And when you have a team that start to actually really believe in their quality and in their luck, yes, it's done. Because it's almost like there's going to be a switch in how they might approach a lot of these games. Because now they're going to come into these games very confident. Maybe, prior to going into certain games, it might have been a bit, look, we've not been having the best of, games. We haven't really been as dominant. But now it's just starting to feel like you keep kind of clearing the path for them to just come back in and just embarrass you. And it's really starting to feel like, it's up for Arsenal now. Like this really, it's do or die. And, you look at this Arsenal team and a lot of their fans do want, kind of a bit of respect being put on the name. And to be honest, like, I think Arsenal do deserve credit for being able to, do what they've done so far. Like in the Prem, they haven't been, especially from an attacking standpoint, they haven't been scintillating. They've been very patchy. They've scored goals, but they have a very solid defense to lean on and to fall back on. So for them, that's not really the problem. If Gyökeres is not scoring, Gabriel scores from a set piece, they can shut up shop and they're good. But now it's starting to get to that crunch time when you need certain players to step up. Like you're at that point of the season right now where you need individual brilliance, game in, game out. You've had the team be able to kind of build some sort of consistency in results in the first half of the season. Now it's starting to feel like this is when you have to rely on individual brilliance. You look at Man City, title winning, teams, individual brilliance, Kevin De Bruyne, time in, time out. Gundogan, time in, time out, So it feels like you kind of need a little bit of that luck. You need a little bit of that extra quality. You need your star man to show up. It has to be Bukayo Saka pulling you through games like this. It has to be, maybe a Trossard coming in and scoring that third goal for you and to kill this game off. Maybe an Eze taking this game by the scruff of the neck. Maybe a Victor Gyökeres, being very dominant against this Wolf defense. But it just feels they're lacking that. They're lacking that player. It just like when Chelsea won the league a couple seasons back, Hazard, he dragged us to that league title, right? You look at Liverpool, Mohamed Salah dragged them to it. Man City, Kevin De Bruyne, time and time again, dragged them to it. Even Aguero, when City first won the league, Aguero, legit with that important goal, just dragging them into it. It just feels like Arsenal don't have that killer. They just don't have that guy that is just going to pull up and say, okay, we have a couple of games, 10 to 12 games left for the season to be done. I'm going to take us home. I'm going to take this home. And it feels like it was going to be their defense, but now that defense is just getting breached. 2 wins in the last 8 games. That's incorrect. It's not really the traits and the characteristics of winners. It's uncharacteristic. Like it's you're not supposed to be dropping these points. This is when you go bar for bar, win for win with Man City. Whatever Man City do, you match that. Whatever you do, now they have to match that. But now you just keep dropping these points. You keep opening the door for Man City to come in. This feels like the movie Sinners, where you have to say come in before they walk in. And it just seems like Arsenal is just saying, you know what? Come on in. Let's have a cup of tea. Come on in. Let's dance. Let me get a little bit of your gold. It just feels like that's what Arsenal is doing. They're inviting Man City in. And if Man City are really about it, they're going to come in and punish you. Now it's 5 points ahead. Man City have a game in hand. If they win, it's 2 points. Now Arsenal really can't mess about no more. You still have to go play Man City. You still have to play Tottenham on the weekend. You still have to play Chelsea. And these are London derbies. Spurs have a new manager. So you're going to be expecting some sort of a new manager bounce. And with the way Arsenal just kind of threw away those precious points today, you're going to be expecting Spurs to really want to make a statement. First game of the new manager, he wants to come in fresh. He wants to win, the home side. This players want to play for the new manager, even though on an interim basis, they want to stake a claim to be playing, for the entire season. They still have Champions League to come through. So a lot of these guys will want to put themselves in the thinking moving forward. And that's how this could affect Arsenal over this weekend. So it feels like very premature, celebrations. And when you're first in the league and you're first in the Champions League, you deserve your credit. You're the best team in the Prem so far because, again, you're number one. So no one can take it from you. You're getting the most points, but you've not been playing the best. But you're being efficient. You're getting your points and you're keeping it moving. But it's starting to feel like the wheels are falling off now. It looks like there's really no plan B. If plan A isn't working, what is the plan B? And it cannot be Bukayo Saka in the 10. So what's your plan B? If set pieces ain't saving you, if own goals ain't saving you, who is coming to save you? That's where it seems like Arsenal are lacking right now. But today's game, man, and to think like Wolves dead ass could have had 2 points in both games against Arsenal. Instead of Arsenal having 4, Arsenal could have taken just 2 points from Wolves. Bottom of the table Wolves. And it's just not good enough. You've seen a lot of Arsenal fans tonight they're not happy. And why would you? And rightly so. Like you've put a lot of faith in this manager. You've put a lot of faith in this squad you've built. There were even times when you heard people say this Arsenal team could probably have a conversation with the invisible team, the team that went invisible and the Invisibles. And I'm like, I don't think so. Because that team, they had leaders, man. Feels like that team just had leaders. They had grown men. This Arsenal team, it feels like they kind of still, they're biding their way through and, they're trying to build the experience now. And don't get me wrong, Arsenal, the team it's not kids playing on that team, but it just feels like that experience, they just ain't got it. That know-how, they haven't built it. They haven't won anything, and season in, season out, they just start to show their ass. And it's starting to feel like this might be it again. Again, I don't want to be too premature, but boy, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm sorry. Because this is crunch time now. These are the games where you have to keep winning. You have to you don't have to win every single game, but you have to make sure you're picking up maximum points in a lot of these games. So it's not good. I believe Arsenal have out of 18 points they could have taken in the last 6 games, I believe they have 8. If I'm not mistaken. If my math is wrong, my apologies. But 8 points out of the last 18, that doesn't scream, title winners. So I don't know what the plan B for Arteta is going to be. but it has to be more than just set pieces and Bukayo Saka in the 10. Like, it has to be more than that. And for me, it tells me your squad really, let me not talk too crazy, but for you to play Saka in the 10 ahead of an Eze, ahead of an Odegaard, for me, it says a lot. It does say a lot about your trust in these other guys. And Eze was bought for big money. Eze should have been, the talisman that should have been kind of giving you a bit more. And this is not really on Arteta as well. Eze just he's not lived up to it. The expectation, the dream you saw when Eze walked out to the Emirates Stadium, when he was unveiled, it was like, it was perfection, it just felt like that final, missing piece, that key cog in the machine has been found. It felt like for Arsenal, this is what you needed. The thing you've been missing for a long time is finally here, and you're able to just cross over to that next stage. But it's just not working out. Gyökeres, just not looking good enough. Martinelli, there was a moment in this game where Martinelli, he just needed one touch to play that ball across the box. What does he do? 2 more touches, hits it against the Wolves player. It goes out for a corner. De Bruyne in that position, it's go. De Bruyne, Sterling in that position, go. De Bruyne, Gundogan, go. De Bruyne, Haaland, go. It's going in the back of the net. Hell, De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus, go. In that same position. So, yes, in as much as I think Arsenal definitely have improved the squad, I think their squad is very strong defensively. They got the coverage. Midfield, they have good midfielders as well. It's the attack, man. The attack is just, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. So I don't know if they lose it from here. It's starting to feel that way, because if you listen to the language amongst the fans, the pressure's really starting to build. Arsenal fans are not happy. And why would you be? Why would you be? Like, it's different, right? If you were playing against an Aston Villa and then you had to come back from 2-0 down, to tie this game. There's different context. If you were losing to Villa, or, maybe Villa scored a last minute, equalizer at home, then you can understand, okay, it happens. But to Wolves, and especially when Chelsea just came up there and beat them up, like just walk through them. So it's like the best team in the Prem, one of the best teams in Europe. And again, football happens. There's days when you're going to have a bad day. This is Arsenal's bad day, potentially, but they've had a couple of bad days. But it's starting to feel like the pressure is closing in. It's starting to really... Jurrien Timber, a couple months ago, he was being had in conversations with Reece James. Timber was being spoken as one of the, matter of fact, the best right back in the Prem. And people try to tell you guys, you got to relax. Timber, he has some levels to go. But to hear some Arsenal fans asking why Ben White wasn't starting ahead of Timber, that just tells you everything you need to know. It tells you everything you need to know. If in big 2026, you're trying to get Ben White to start ahead of Timber, who you tell us is the best right back in the league, and you're asking for Ben White, bro, you already know something is wrong. You know something is wrong. So they might go on and win it. And I'm not saying they probably will, because I don't know. But from where we're standing and how we're seeing these things, it's looking scary, bro. Because Man City right now, all they have to do is win a lot of their games, beat Arsenal, and they're good. If Man City beat Arsenal, then at this point, it's already in Man City's hands. But again, Arsenal, all they got to do is make sure they don't lose to Man City. Win the games you're expected to win. Don't lose to Man City. Match Man City's results. And guess what? You have a Premier League title. but it feels awfully too familiar. We've been here before. It feels like we've been here, and it's just, yeah, the feeling is very familiar to Arsenal fans, I'm sure. And I think, when you want to be you want to be held in conversations with teams that have won, I think it can't just be about how solid you've been for the last 2 years. It can't just be, well, we finished second 3 years in a row. Absolutely. Congratulations on that. I think that's, it's very impressive being, second 3 seasons in a row, really pushing the winners all the way. I think that's very impressive. But people can't also give you the respect because you haven't won anything. And that's the problem. You need to win to demand that respect. Like we can say, you know what? You've been one of the best teams in the Prem when it comes to just getting points, winning games, clean sheets. Defensively, you're a top team. But offensively, you lack a lot. But again, if your defense is winning you, that's why that's the whole saying, attacks win you games, defense win you trophies. Absolutely. But there's games where you need your attack to bail you out, like today. When your defense is letting you down, you need your attack to bail you out. And today, it wasn't there. So, yeah, it's looking kind of dicey for Arsenal. Very dicey. And they better not lose or even draw to Spurs this weekend. Because I genuinely think any result other than a win this weekend for Arsenal, yes, I'm going to say Man City are going to win the league. Because I'm looking at Man City's team, and there's still a few players over there that have been there when they won the league. I can think of Ake. I can think of Luis Diaz. I can think of Erling Haaland. I can think of Rodri. I can think of Phil Foden. So that's already 5 players I can think of that have been there. And then you add a little bit of quality they've also added so far. Semenyo, Donnarumma. Again, Donnarumma is a European champion. He has experience of winning at the big stage. He's won the biggest trophy in Europe. So he has that experience right there. And all of a sudden, it's starting to look real. Semenyo, Doku, you have Marmoush. You have options. All of a sudden, it's starting to look Gehi, nice, solid piece they've added to that back line. And Gehi also has experience of winning with Crystal Palace. So again, you have winners in that team. And yeah, it sucks though, because it feels like we like I said, we've seen the script and it's not looking good for a lot of Arsenal fans. And yeah, it is what it is. Blue Sharks are circling again. Are they going to take you out for bait this time? I don't know. We'll see. But Arsenal, it's not looking good for you guys, man. It's not looking good. And I think Arteta has to, yeah, he has to do a lot. I think he has to do a lot. So, yeah, it's not looking good. But, you still might win it. You might not win it. It is what it is. People, like the video, sub to the channel, hop in the comments. Let me know how you feel. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are not going to be happy, so let me know if you disagreed with anything I said. I know there's some very sensitive, dialogues when it comes to, the respecting. I believe for Arsenal fans, the respect they feel they need to be given is very big. But yeah, let me know how you feel, man. But Blue Sharks are circling, and to think like a lot of other teams could have been in a title charge if we just played better. Chelsea, Liverpool, you look at Man U right now, that resurgence. I mean, I don't think they're going to do much, but imagine a lot of these teams just had a better start to the season, maybe a better midpoint way into the season. It could have been a lot uncomfortable because it's not like the league, it's not like teams are just like pulling trees. It's not like it's not it. It's really not. So I don't know, man. Yeah. I'll catch you on the next one, people. Peace.